Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome to Everlasting Summer. I have my fan running in the background and I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can, that's what it is. It's summertime, so it's hot, and I'm pretty sure my AC is still broken, so that's why my fan is running. I don't want to get super hot in my room. But anyways, let's just jump back into this game. Time dragged on deceitfully slowly, but it's 5 p.m. already. It's common during the summer. If one counts the seconds and minutes, it appears that even a single hour would never end. But if one thinks of anything else, then the whole day flies by quickly. I decided to start packing. They could leave without me. I quickly took all my winter stuff and shoved it into a bag. I was almost about to jump onto the bed again, but the door opened and Olga Dmitrievna came in. "Oh, I see you're packed already. That's great, let's go." I got up reluctantly, grabbed my simple luggage and followed her. I really don't care what will happen next. I had long suspected that nothing was up to me in this world, and recent events had reinforced my complete confidence in this. I might wake up tomorrow in bus number 410, or I might not wake up at all. And that's all, folks. It's all that simple. There's no point in staying here. There's nowhere to run. Basically, my only exit is to leave on the bus with everyone else. Go into the unknown. That's all I'd been doing for the last week, stumbling along a narrow path in pitch black darkness, unsure of where is the beginning and where is the end. We were almost approaching the gates when I heard someone calling my name. Semyon. Semyon. That's creepy. Olga Dmitrievna, excuse me just a minute. Okay, but make it fast or we'll leave without you. Please do. Please leave me behind. I would like to die. I headed for the bushes that the voice came from. Semyon. Semyon. I waded through the thick greenery. Wade in the water. I'm sorry for the I know it's the water. I waded through the thick greenery and came out onto a forest path. The voice seemed to be calling from nowhere. One moment it was heard behind a tree, and now it seems to be behind my back. That's creepy. Probably it's one of those aliens from the parallel worlds, but I suspect that I haven't met this exact one before. We don't have much time. I'm listening. I know that you've already been contacted by him and him. Yeah. And I know what they've told you. Don't ask me how. Okay. But you must know one thing, the thing I know. There's more than a dozen of us here, in fact, more than 1,000, but a lot of people got out. I've tried to digest what he said and phrase the right questions. Then why are you here? I stayed. Why? To help others find an exit. Wow, how generous. And why should I trust you? You're the third one already. Well, in fact, I'm not even sure that you all aren't just my hallucination. It's not about trust. Then what is it about? It's about the right choice. Consider this camp to be a giant maze. You should take a few right turns to find an exit. Okay, and how do I know which ones are right? You will know. Come with me. Where to? To the second lap. Hold on a sec. That pioneer said that my second lap will start tomorrow. He lied! The speaker raised his voice. He's gone completely crazy and he's trying to destroy all the others. So if I don't go with you and leave on the bus, then I'll be destroyed, right? I don't know. Then why do you say no? Nobody ever returned after a conversation with him. Listen, why should I trust you? I was definitely on the edge. While that pioneer just mocked me and didn't seem to be a real danger, this one clearly spoke about things worth being anxious about. I couldn't decide which one I should trust. This problem is like trying to get a blind man to say whether the light in the room is on or off. You can only guess, just like me. Do I have to make a choice here? Hurry up, time is running out. Wait, hey, wait a sec. Make a choice. Are you coming or not? I'm gonna follow the voice. Okay, let's go. Anyway, he sounded more credible than the crazy pioneer. Yeah, exactly. Of course, the solution could be fatal, but the alternative isn't any better. I just took a shot in the dark. Okay, so where are we going? We are already there. My eyesight started to fade and I felt my consciousness leaving me. Am I dead? Achievement unlocked! Epic fail! Achievement unlocked! Semyon bad end. I can go back. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for the credits! But okay. Animation. There was no animation. What are you talking about? Ooh. Heavy metal. Headbang, my brothers. Thank you and goodbye for now. Is this Russian, heavy metal, or... I'm gonna assume so. I thought there was 13 days in this game. Oh no, wait, there were 13 endings. God, I got that confused. I don't know how many days there are in this game. Okay! Wait. Is there blood on that owl? Was that owl always there? Oh. Is that a bloody owl or is that just like brown or red? Anyways. Okay, I guess you can skip. Do not follow the voice. No, you know what? I can't just believe you in only a couple of minutes. At least I've I'm sorry. At least I've known that other guy for a little longer and his arguments seem to be more weighty. You'll be sorry. Those words sounded like they were coming from another world. The voice seemed to disappear. Of course, I couldn't be sure whether my choice was right or wrong. It was a blind guess enforced by a time limit. Nevertheless, whether I'm right or not, we'll find out soon. In a couple of minutes, I was standing at the bus stop with all the other pioneers. Oh. Everybody's here. I don't know why I did that voice. Give her a southern accent for no reason, even though she's Russian. Oh well. Gotta take the perfect screenshot here, guys. It's got to be perfect. I just realized how dorky he looks. And he doesn't even have eyes to look with, but oh my god. And she's just like, what? What's going on? She's like, oh yeah. Look at those boobs. They're so perky. Everybody's here? Oh, began Olga Dmitrievna. Doesn't she have green eyes? Why are her eyes brown? This game is lying to me! You're leaving our camp today, and I'd like to tell you something in parting. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time that you've spent here for a lifetime, and that you'll retain only pleasant memories about Sovyunuk. I also hope that you became at least a little bit better, managed to learn something, and found new friends. Just come back next year. The camp leader looked away. It's like she was trying to keep the tears inside. Oh, I didn't expect her to get so emotional. Although her speech sounded like complete nonsense to me as usual. The pioneers started to frown into the bus. The pioneers started to crowd into the bus, babbling cheerfully. I decided to hold on a little and say a proper goodbye to this camp. All of a sudden, I felt a deep urge to throw a coin. Of course, there's no fountain here, and honestly, I didn't feel like returning, but it's still just a superstition, and I don't believe in them. At least I never believed in them before. Digging through my pockets, I found only a couple of candy wrappers, a pencil, and a scrap of paper. I held them for a moment, then I squatted, put the paper on the ground, and scribbled a few words. You are here for a reason. Grinning at my stupidity, I threw the scrap under the wheels of the bus and got into the cabin. What? Got into the cabin? Oh, cabin of the bus. I found a place in the middle. Malcolm in the Middle. Do you guys remember that show? I remember, watching, 1 or 2 episodes, but I didn't, it's not great. It's just one of those average shows, I guess. I mean, I guess it was funny, but I mean, it isn't great. It's just one of those TV shows you see on TV all the time, but you don't actually watch it. But the strangest thing was that everyone sat in pairs, and only I was alone. However, what's the difference now? I'll either disappear or we'll restart everything in a couple of hours. ... Yes, I'm taking screenshots of this. Why wouldn't I? This music is so nice, though. This game has really good music. The bus was slowly moving towards the district centre, occasionally bouncing over the bumps in the road. It was impossible to see anything beyond the old windows in the pitch black dark of the night. In the dark of the night, people will find her. In the dark of the night, evil will brew. Soon you will see that the curse is complete. In the dark of the night, she'll be gone! I love that song. Is that movie offensive to Russian people, Anastasia? I mean, I know it's based on the story of it, but I mean, I know it's a fairy tale based on history. I don't know if that movie is offensive to Russian people or not. I like it. I mean, I'm genetically Russian. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I have some Russian in me, and I'm not speaking for all Russian people because I was born in America, born in the U.S. Grew up in the U.S., but I mean, I like that movie. It's like one of my favorite movies ever. But I'm curious about that, and I know a lot of Russian people watch this particular Let's Play of mine. So, Russian people, let me know if you find that Don Bluth movie Anastasia offensive or not. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but anyways. Anyway, I couldn't care less about the surrounding countryside. I just sat and waited for the inevitable. For the first time in a long while, my head was completely empty. The pioneers around me enjoyed the trip. Uliana and Alyssa were playing cards. Lena was reading a book and Slavia was sleeping. Miku was trying in vain to start a conversation with Zhenya, and Zhenya was trying really hard not to start killing people. Electronic That's not how they usually spelt it. Isn't it? I'm so confused now. Did they normally spell it with a K instead of a C, or... This is deja vu all over again. Deja vu. I've just been in this place before. We're crafting something, as always. I was the only one completely ignored by everyone. It might be a slightly far-fetched perception. I got used to the role of being the centre of the universe in the camp. I thought that everything revolved around me. Well, that might be so up to a certain degree. But here and now I'm only a foreign object, an out-of-place molecule in the harmonic pattern of a crystal grid. ... I'm not sure how long we'd spent on the road, but sleep had already started to overcome me. I was desperately fighting Morpheus, trying to stay awake as long as I could. After all, it's quite possible that today is the last day of my life. That is very depressing. Then probably it's reasonable to cling as hard as I could to these few hours of meaningless, useless existence. ... However, physical fatigue and, more importantly, emotional fatigue took its toll and I fell asleep. Of course. Little bitch, you just fall asleep. How dare you? Day ... Ooh. 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 A sharp pain throbbed through my entire body. Ooh! Ooh, the leaves are gone and it's different. I felt it especially sharply in my temples. Ooh, I hate it when that happens. It feels like they're ready to shatter into 1,000 little pieces, giving the wind free access to my empty head. Probably I would not have been able to stand even 5 minutes of such torture if I hadn't opened my eyes in time. I was somewhere. It was impossible to tell precisely where. My mind was clouded in mist. My thoughts were confused. The moment between the unconscious and conscious states when you vividly remember your dreams. Oh. I was going somewhere by bus and was about to doze off when suddenly a girl came up to me and began to speak quickly. What? What? Are you the girl of my dreams? Like the actual girl of my dreams? You know, the one who was all being weird and took sugar and stuff. I couldn't understand a word, but the girl looked very upset. I failed to understand what she needed from me. Time passed and she kept talking on and on. It was getting really annoying. I wanted to ask her to cut it out, or at least calm down a bit, but I failed. Either because I didn't manage to say anything, or because my words didn't reach her. I couldn't even see her face. I mean, you can somewhat see it. I was simply listening and staring and listening. Perhaps it wasn't important for me then. Surely you would not try to remember what a mosquito disturbing your sleep looks like. Surely you wouldn't manage to recall the frequency of its flapping wings or the inclination of its proboscis. This is the proboscis. After that. And this girl is just one of millions of voices that disturb you from concentrating, from thinking, from falling asleep. The louder her voice grew, the harder it got for me to catch her words. The bus cabin, the seats worn by time, the uneven floor, the rusty ceiling, the cracked glass of the windscreen, everything was floating away, along with her. And then I felt a unique sense of relief. It didn't matter how real the bus and the girl had been, it was nothing but a bug to me. And here I am, hanging in total emptiness and falling inside a dream. What? Wow, dreams can be really something. Not quite a nightmare, yet definitely not something pleasant. I got up, rubbed my face to get back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh! Gave a loud yawn and prepared to clean myself up. It was a really gray morning. Unable to find my hygiene kit on the nightstand, I concluded that I could manage without it. My hygiene kit! It was hard to get dressed. My hands were trembling like hell. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and checked out my 2-week stubble. Well, perhaps Olga Dmitrievna has a razor. What? It was only when I went outside that I suddenly understood that I'm not in Pioneer Camp. I'm back in my apartment, and I've just come out of my room into a passageway, not out of the cabin. I was overwhelmed with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down on the bed and buried my face into my hands, trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, the bus, the last day of the term. Yeah, I fell asleep and woke up back home. Well, to some degree, it might even seem quite logical. It seemed that the initial astonishment was worn off during the first few seconds. After all, the fact that I came back like this after a week-long absence is no stranger than my sudden appearance at some pioneer camp of the 80s in the first place. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. That mysterious pioneer, his words. But how did I manage to get back to reality then? According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever, as there's no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. That pioneer at the bus stop and the mystery voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. Does that mean I found it? I managed to get out of the endless loop? But how? Nevertheless, I wasn't sure whether I should rejoice or grieve. Over the last week, I'd kind of forgotten used to the everlasting inner monologue, the search for answers, and the in-depth analysis of everything, so I simply couldn't accept this fact as it was, without figuring out what exactly happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one who has observed the existence of other guys like me. Existence. Of other guys like me during their very first loop, but does that mean anything? Anyway, all his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now I had to decide how I should react. Of course, I should rejoice. After all, I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence that I was really there. I don't see my pioneer uniform anywhere. I look my age, and just like I did before. My phone is on the table, fully charged. But one can't deceive one's own memory. One can't live through such terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in great detail. Perhaps I was in a coma all this time? An ironic laugh escaped my lips. Nah, that's not an option either. Well, then, all's well that ends well? The last few hours in the camp flashed through my mind. Indeed, I wasn't hoping to get out, either from that camp or from that reality, and I was pretty much ready to another week. And another. And another. And another one. And another one. And another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. I'm sorry. I'd accepted my role. I reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all the stuff that happened? I heaved a doomed sigh, got up from my bed, and with considerable effort, and went to my computer. That's weird, but according to it, only 14 hours have passed since my disappearance from this world, not a whole week. Weird. A new message in the instant messenger. Hi, Semyon. Yesterday was legendary. See you later. Smiley. My college friend. It was him who invited me to that party with the rest of his college friends that I was going to attend. Suddenly, all my senses came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of a hangover. It looks like I'd indeed attended that party yesterday. And I was partying hard, so there was no pioneer camp? But then, where did all these memories, emotions, and feelings come from? All of this was so incomprehensible that I became enraged. I began cursing foully, trying to tear my hair out and hammering on the keyboard with my fists. I didn't return to our normal state until there were no keys left on it. What the Okay, that came out of nowhere, I think. That escalated really quickly, and I do not appreciate the turn of events here. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries when a dream or a hallucination ends. Moreover, people are usually glad that it happens. Was I really that prepared to stay there that my return to reality became so undesirable for me? And then a simple and obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Besides, I had all the symptoms of insanity. I never leave the four walls of my prison. I never socialize. I have lots of psychological problems. Well, that explains a lot. My dark, nervous laughter echoed in the room. Guess it's the right time for me to visit a therapist, or rather a psychiatrist. Or should I just surrender myself at the asylum? Semyon, a horse! A horse! Half a kingdom for a horse! I cried at the top of my lungs between bouts of my manic laughter. Semyon, dispute not with her! She is a lunatic! The racket my neighbors made on the wall calmed me down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like only a lobotomy could help me. A nice pick lobotomy. Oh god. I just sat completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just staring at the monitor, long since gone into sleep mode. Finally, I moved the mouse and opened a few tabs in the browser. So it's new. F5, F5. As if the events of the past week had never happened. Come on, do you have to grieve for hallucination? Was it real? Sure, lots of memories? Sure. Lot looks true enough? By all means, yes. Any proof? Nope. The verdict is clear, as is my future course. I have long suspected that my current lifestyle wasn't doing me any good. I wasn't ready for such an unusual event, but so what? I'll have to be more prepared for my next trip. Night, an endless stream of threads and images took my mind off my lamentations and considerations. An instant message window popped up almost unexpectedly. Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quite an original way to start a conversation. I'm doing fine. The contact's profile was completely empty. Not even a nickname, just a 9-digit number. You can't guess what kind of person is on the other end just by looking at a number, can you? Sure, someday we'll all be different. Unified digital... What? Unified digital identifiers instead of names. A couple of symbols for a biography. Several bytes of personality and 3.5 bits of feelings. Get home safely? Probably someone from yesterday's party. Seems like it. You do remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. There's yet another message after a long pause. I see. Honestly, I don't give a damn who this is and why he is messaging me. Until this unidentified individual starts harassing me, I could easily tolerate his presence in my contact list. Well, that's okay. We'll meet again. We surely will. Sure, looking forward to it, yeah. Alright. Bye! I didn't reply. This odd, screwed-up day at last was slowly coming to an end. Going to bed, I yet again recalled in my head all the events that seemed so real for me. Where am I going to wake up tomorrow? Would these hallucinations return? Now I'll probably just forget everything. Strange, but now I'm really feeling that everything happening now is real. There's just a fiction, a game of deformed imagination, or really something fantastical, and here is reality. Sometimes inconvenient, sometimes it unfolds differently from how you'd wish. Surprises you like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, and I started to forget the events of that week. After all, nothing bad happened. Even if it was indeed real, who cares? There were only 7 days in a pioneer camp. That were only 7 days in a pioneer camp. I'm sorry. I wasn't killed. Obviously. Nobody kidnapped me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed. So why do I care now about the reason? And if it indeed was a hallucination, I could only hope that it won't repeat itself. I was still a shut-in. My computer and the internet were my only friends, and the keyboard was the only communication channel connecting me to the outside world. But didn't you just destroy your keyboard? I guess you fixed it. The F5 key became the main thing in my life again. Come to think of it, it really wasn't all that bad. Yet one day a familiar combination of digits popped up on the screen. That strange contact of mine had come alive once again. Hey! Hey, how are you doing? Doing fine. Probably I knew him from somewhere, but who cares anyway? Any news? Not really. Stability is a sign of true class? One might say so. Oh, I see. This conversation was over for me, but he didn't seem to feel like that. So nothing has changed? Nope. Should it have? Well, it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everybody gets to experience it either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I prefer you to explain. Don't you remember the camp? It felt like an electric shock! All the events of that week immediately sprang up in my mind. My hands started to tremble, a cold sweat burst from my forehead. I turned around in horror, already imagining that I'd see aliens, ghosts, or the Grim Reaper, but there was nobody in my room except me, as always. I ran to the corridor, checked in the kitchen and in the bathroom, still nobody. At last I returned to the computer. The same message window was still flashing red steadily, as if it was a perfectly ordinary message. Who are you? My hands were trembling so much that I could hardly hit the right keys. Oh, so you do remember it. My hallucinations seemed to be continuing? Or did I never leave the camp in the first place? Or it's just a dream after all, or... I don't know what to say. I admitted sincerely. Anyhow, I felt that this entity, that's the only definition that I could think of, doesn't need any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you can just keep silent. Everything's perfectly clear, XD. That smiley at the end of the line looked like the devil himself, stretching its deformed jaws open to devour me. Oh my god, wow. Calm down. I use that all the time. What is happening to me? I finally made up my mind to ask that question. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, was it real? And what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed real to you, then it was. Then yes, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's just that simple. That's not simple at all! What will happen to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. Seems that it really hurt me without the use of the internet. Terror chained my whole body. I closed my eyes and curled myself into a ball. Why are you doing this to me? I started to lose it. Words were coming out of my mouth by themselves. Illogical, meaningless sets of words. Why? Why me? What for? What for? Leave me alone! I haven't done anything bad! Several minutes later, I found the courage to open one eye and take a look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. The message window was flickering coldly. And what's next? Oh, you'll see that soon enough, smiley face. Oh no. Everything started fading back to black in my eyes. Noise filled my ears and I started to feel dizzy. I felt that my very soul was escaping its physical shell. The events of the last few days became hazy, as if they'd all happened to someone other than me. Then the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was using an eraser to thoroughly rub out words written with a pencil. A moment later, I felt and sensed nothing, as though I was plunged into a state of cosmic bliss. If anyone saw me at the moment, they would notice that I was smiling. I'm so confused. I'm kind of stuck here. I hit the report spam button, closed the window, switched to the browser, and glanced at the clock. Wow! Time to get going or I'm gonna be late. Oh my god. Oh, what? Hey, come back. Come back, you. Achievement unlocked! Semyon good end. Hooray, I got the good end. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, a prologue, and an epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, will not reveal new details you didn't notice before. Well, if it's a very big book, then maybe. You could forget as you read on. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every... What? What? Excuse me? Oh. What? Oh. Oh. What? Are we going into the loop again? Or what? 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 Oh, I was talking about the opening animation. I forgot about that. Oops. Slavia! Oh, she's so... Oh. Oh! I didn't know that. Lena! Wee! Woo! Uliana! Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh no. That panty shot though. Alyssa! Oh! Whoa, whoa. Miku! Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh my. There's a thing. There's a thing there. There's a cat girl thing. Hooray! We did it, guys! Hooray! We got a good ending. And next time I'll be actually using a guide to get all the other endings, okay? Because that's what I want to do. I'll go with Slavia first. Because I like her. She's cute. Anyways. Well guys, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Everlasting Summer and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!